Bill, I'm at the Gloucester County Courthouse where the trial of James Stuart got underway today. He's the Deptford cop who's accused of murdering a high school buddy 2+ years ago. It began with jury selection, as you might imagine, a process that Stuart's attorney, John Eastlack, declined to comment on. Sir, can you talk at all about the jury selection process?
No, I can't. Sorry.
All right, well, thank you anyway. But let's go back to that night 2.5 years ago, January 5th, 2013. Listen to this.
We had a man who was playing with a weapon that was loaded, and there was a shot fired.
And who is this?
This is 5238 James Stuart.
Bill, that's the defendant, James Stuart. He's charged with murder, aggravated manslaughter, and possession with criminal intent. Stuart has pleaded not guilty to those charges. The parents of the victim, David Compton, have said that they do feel foul play was involved in the shooting of their son, which occurred on a night of drinking. Stuart's attorney has said in pretrial hearings that his client had a blood alcohol level of 0.19. The Gloucester County attorney has said that she's going to prove that there was foul play involved. That's why it's here in trial. Mr. Stuart did plead not guilty.
It's a bizarre case. I mean, oftentimes when you hear about cops being on trial, it's typically in the line of duty where they go a little too far during an arrest or responding to a call. This just sounds like two guys drinking way too much and the firearm somehow got into play.
Right, and there's a lot that's not actually known about the case. It's fallen out of the public eye because, again, Bill, it happened 2.5 years ago, but this is not any of the stories that you're seeing in the news these days.
Despite this incident, according to the Officer Down Memorial page, 2015 may actually be one of the safest years in a quarter century for law enforcement.
What was his initial defense? He said that his friend had taken his firearm, that his friend was playing with it?
Something along those lines. Yeah, he says in the call that his friend was playing with a firearm, that it was loaded and it went off.
Well, I don't know the rules in this town, but in New York City, the patrol guidebook, it actually explicitly talks about drinking and having your firearm with you. You should not do that. In fact, you should always be ready for the line of duty. So you shouldn't even be put in the position where you're too drunk to handle your gun or your job.
Right, but you don't need a patrol guidebook to tell you not to use alcohol while you're also using your weapon.
Well, more to come on this, obviously. What's the next step?
A jury selection process may take as long as a few weeks. Once the jury is selected, we'll go to trial, and Judge Becker has said the trial itself will last anywhere from probably 10 to 13 days.